Eric. We're over here on the paranormal hunt, and I headed over to this other building, and it's number 13. I was just telling Ron, my God.
All right, guys, it's a Friday. And I know right now, I know there's only 9 people in the chat as we speak. I know a lot of you right now in the chat are asking yourself the same question. Who the hell is Peter Tosh? I know it. I know you, a lot of you guys, probably even my age. Like, who's Peter Tosh? Young people, you're not going to know who Peter Tosh is. But there is a personal Mandela effect that I have about Peter Tosh. And just so you guys know, who is Peter Tosh? First of all, let me see. I did not do that. Did I actually erase it? Oh, I actually deleted one of my tabs. But okay, Peter Tosh is a reggae singer. He's a reggae singer. I do have a list of his albums. I had a definition exactly who Peter Tosh was, but I deleted it by accident. So Peter Tosh basically started out with Bob Marley. He doesn't get a lot of credit, but he actually wrote some songs with Bob Marley. One of his famous songs, "Get Up, Stand Up," that was also, he had credit of writing with that song with Bob Marley. And Bob Marley, now him and Bob Marley had a kind of a fallout. I don't know exactly what the exact fallout was. I don't know if there was jealousy or not. But Peter Tosh is an international famous reggae singer. Goes back to 1976 when he has an album, Legalize It. And of course, he probably never realized that it's legalized now, because the reason you don't hear about Peter Tosh, just in case you don't know, the guy was murdered. He was murdered by 3 people. He was murdered in 1987. So he was killed. And an album he has in 1987 was called No Nuclear War. And what was so iconic about that album, it was like he had albums, they were considered independent kind of albums. But that album, Nuclear War, was his first EMI, like international album company that really put the support around him. So got himself on the national stage, even though he was popular with the underground, but he became, really huge in 87. Then of course he got murdered by 3 people. And just to give you a little better idea, I got a minute video of Peter Tosh talk. He just talking, just to give you a visual image of this guy, because I know a lot of you have never heard of Peter Tosh. And listen, growing up as a kid, I don't know about New York, where I grew up in California, Kerman, California, outside of Fresno. There's only 2 types of music that we really listen to: hard rock, which is metal, whatever you want to call it, and reggae. That was the music, right? The other half of town loved country, but country music lovers in our town love country and reggae. Reggae was that genre that somehow every other person connects to in the middle, right? If you're a hip hop, you're a rapper, you're, Western country, rock and roll, or hard rock, metal, everybody loves reggae. Reggae is like that circle music that everybody can at least agree on. Was that like that in New York too, Anthony? Like reggae is the one genre that, even though it might not be your main genre, that everybody likes reggae.
Yeah, I had a lot of friends that liked reggae back in the day.
Now, Of course, some people like it a little bit too much. They start getting dreadlocks and smoke weed all the time. A little bit too much, but So let me find this video. Let's give you a visual look. Okay, Peter Tosh. Let me see here. Where's the video? Oh, I'm on my season 2 cartoon folder. That's why I wasn't seeing it. This is Peter Tosh, talks about Death Rides on Cycle, but this is just to give you an image what he looks like.
Was to say to you that tomorrow, Peter Tosh, you're going to be a dead man.
Don't feel no way, my dear. It's just part of life. Many people search, but their search take them to the grave. My search takes me to life. And there is no man on earth that can threaten me and create any amount of fear inside of me. Because you see me, my search teaches me to kill death, to frustrate frustration, to madness, and to assassinate the assassinator. Am I coming in hot, hot, hot?
You're gonna get hit for the music.
This one is actually I'm allowed to use.
I live in
Believe it or not, that one I'm actually using. It's because Peter Tosh probably wasn't huge. he wasn't huge enough to, but I'm actually did get permission to use that, and I double checked it. So I know what you're saying. Every time you hear music, like, oh, that's the one.
You're right off YouTube, man.
Yeah, but that was just a short scene. So that's Peter Tosh, kind of the thing, and it actually is kind of funny in that video. At the beginning of it, they talk about dying, right? Because he was murdered. I'm not going to play this whole video, but there's another video about the tragic death of Peter Tosh. I just want you guys to get an idea. So when I tell you the story on how this, to me, is an amazing Mandela Effect find, why? Why? Where does this come from? How did even Peter Tosh even come up in a Mandela Effect talk like Ed McMahon and stuff? And I get it. Let me see here. There we go. The tragic circumstances.
The mystery surrounding the violent death of reggae superstar Peter Tosh is as complex and mysterious as the man himself. The many reports, stories, assumptions, and speculations leave a shroud of doubt and suspicion in staggering proportions. What is known to date is that on the evening of Friday, September 11, 1987, 3 gunmen entered Tosh's Plymouth Avenue residence in Barbican, that's in Kingston, Jamaica. Apparently they were known by Tosh. The 3 were in the house for a short while before the massacre began. One of the killers, Dennis Loban, turned himself into the Kingston police only days later, following a warrant issued for his arrest and the involvement of Interpol. In 1987, Peter Tosh had, according to the memories of the Wailers drummer, Carlton Santa Davis, recently returned from a trip to the US and was having a few friends over for the evening. Davis knew of Lepo, as everyone in Kingston knew him. He knew that Lepo started hanging around Tosh after prison, cause Tosh generally helped whomever he could. But some, like Lepo, made a habit out of asking. So when 3 men armed with guns entered and ordered everyone to drop to the ground, they recognized Lepo, but not the other 2, who were never found anyway. They lined their hostages in a semicircle and proceeded to beat Peter Tosh and demanded money from him, while ignoring his pleas that he was not going to the bank until the next Monday. Then they shot all their hostages, including Peter Tosh and 2 others, while wounding the other 4. The reason for the raid, according to the police, is that Loban learnt of Tosh's trip and that he would be paid in US dollars. They learnt of this because Tosh's wife, Marley, who apparently was hammering a wedge between Peter and many of his closest friends, mouthed off to Loban. She called him a battyman. That's a derogatory Jamaican slang term for homosexual. He remembers a gunman specifically shouting at Marlene that this was happening because of her. The first to be fired upon was Marlene Brown, longtime girlfriend and Tosh's current manager and accountant. Winston Brown was shot on.
The whole video is about 10 minutes long. So when this show is done, guys, I'll put the link to it so you guys can watch the whole thing. So basically, you heard it. He was murdered. There's a lot of conspiracies. There's a lot of things about it. Now,
Tragic.
It is very tragic because think about it. In 1987, he had a record deal, but he had a new record deal that was international deal that was going to get him to Bob Marley status that big, which a lot of us still
Well,
love.
didn't he have a Grammy Award in his hand in that picture?
Yes,
So
he did.
I mean, he was very well known then.
Yeah, he was very known, but you know, it's that No Nuclear album was going to be the album that really breaks him totally around the world.
Mhm.
So it was sad, like your life is taken away even sooner. Like a lot of bands start out with what they call more of an independent kind of a labels and all that, and then when they get a certain amount of popularity, that
Right.
gets sells off to a higher end music company that will put more money behind you and get it big. Because, like I said, he was with Bob Marley. He helped write some of his big songs, but of course they had a downfall. Now, what's the Mandela effect about this? Okay, so you guys are gonna have to hear this story. Now, first of all, Mandela effect. I know most of you might know, but if some of you are new, Mandela effect is, in simple terms, is where a group of people that might have a different memory than everybody else. So, and they believe that their memory is the real memory versus, everybody else. Which you believe in that or not, that's up to you. But it is kind of funny, Anthony. It is kind of funny because I know people who truly believes there's a multiverse, right? There is multiverse. And there's people who not just believe in it, believe that we do have connections to ourselves onto another multiverse. And sometimes some people believe that we can share memories of their multiverse. And it always gets me that, well, if you could believe in that, and people believe that not just time travel could exist, it does exist, and people have done time travel. So if you believe in that, in a lot of ways, you might not admit it just because the name Mandela effect, you do believe in it. Because if you have memories that's connected to a multiverse, technically that's another version of a Mandela effect. I mean, you gotta get the name, the Mandela, out of it. If you believe that somebody can time travel and change, and things do change, because there's so many different theories of time travel. You can do Anthony, you've done a whole show on time travel. There's like 5-10 different theories. There's no right or wrong because we don't know. But the one theory is like Back to the Future. You go back in time, you do something that could change. But think about your mind, right? That if that was really happening, your mind, some minds could just probably switched over. But what if parts of that switching over doesn't, like, I don't know, come in at 100%. So you're misremembering just because of the time travel aspect of it. I know people who believe in that, but they still won't man up.
The easiest way to do time travel is if you and I went to space and we were able to sit at the entrance of a black hole, right? In a spaceship, our watches would spin very slowly compared to Earth's time. So if we sat there for like 24 hours, by the time we came back to Earth, like 24,000 years would have passed if we sat in front of a black hole, just parked in front of a black hole. So it's pretty wild.
I'm doing it now, Eric. Check your watch. Mine says Sunday 3:46. No, that I'm just saying it's just weird that people can believe all this, but they don't believe that nothing could still happen to your mind. So it's up to you if you want to believe it or not. So this is the story, guys. This is the story. In 1987, okay, 1987, I was 14. I think I was 14. And my father's company had company picnics. A lot of companies do these company picnics. We did it in Kerman, California, at a swimming pool, a public swimming pool. So they didn't really have like a regular workers that works the counters and all that. So there were like nobody in the counter. You just kind of show your little badge and you just jump in the water. Well, there's nobody in the back. So they have a phone. I know a lot of people are like, so what? What about a phone? Well, back in 1987, you couldn't just make a phone call out of your area code because it's long distance. It costs money to call outside your area code. In fact, if a lot of you young people don't know this, that you actually had to have two carriers. You had to have your regular phone carrier, and you had to have a long distance carrier like AT&T, MCI. So it was very expensive. Like living in Kerman, it would cost us money to call Fresno when Fresno was only 10 miles away. Now we got Messenger, we got What's Up app. We could talk to people from London, Australia for free. But back in those days, it costs money. So if you want to try to contact an actor or singer that you like, it was easier back then because not everybody's going to jump on the phone because your parents get that phone bill. You're probably going to get your ass kicked because it would be, and you call another country in 87? Forget about it. You're talking, I'm serious, people, like $200-300 because they gotta manually connect you to a satellite. So since there's no workers by this phone, we're like, dude, let's call somebody. I mean, that was our excitement. Let's call somebody. We want to call, dude. Let's call Jamaica. Why Jamaica came up? I can't tell you that. My brother was there. There was 4 other people. There was like a total of 7 of us. Why it was exciting to us, I can't tell you. But we're like, let's call Peter Tosh. Let's see if we could talk to Peter Tosh about his new album, No Nuclear War. Well,
you tried that?
Oh, this is you guys got to get ready for this. Okay, so let's call Jamaica. And this was we called, it was in the middle of June, July, because I said June, July, in the middle of the summer, because that's when everybody was out of school. So we got on the phone, and you had to call like an operator that to connect you back in those days to Jamaica, which we want to talk to Peter Tosh. And you guys can go to my brother's channel. He'll back it up too. Because when I told him about this thing, it flipped him out. It flipped out my cousins because they were all there during this phone call. Because we'll get to the connection of the Mandela Effect in a little bit. I'm just telling you the story. So we called Jamaica. They got us through. We got a Jamaica operator. Yaman. I'm just pretending I'm Jamaican. Yaman. And we're like, we want to talk to Peter Tosh. We have an interview set up, and he hasn't called in. So okay, they'll plug us into their organization, their house, or whatever it is. So they plugged us in, and we're like, dude, we're in the Peter Tosh's family. We're in their whatever business, whatever it is back in where they do in Jamaica, their house. And we got somebody. Yes, Peter Tosh was late for his interview. We're just lying, just so we could get him on. They're like, oh, you didn't hear? Hear what? This hasn't broke the news yet. Just keep it to yourselves. We'll tell you, but don't report this until 24 hours. This is what they're telling us on the phone, and there's 7 of us to verify this story.
Really?
Like, he goes, he just got murdered yesterday. We're like, and dude, and we were all shocked. We were all like, he got killed? What do you mean murder? We knew this before the public. Now, I don't know how much news coverage they would have done on Peter Tosh. It wasn't like he was Bob Marley, but for us as kids,
man, they would do a lot of coverage.
But as for kids, that was like, oh my God. And we were all shocked. We were just shocked. We were just like, man, we can't believe Peter Tosh is dead. And we're like, dude, we know before everybody else. And then of course, I think it wasn't the next day. I think it was like 48 or the next 3 days. Then there was a new story that Peter Tosh got murdered. 3 people broke in to his house, 3 people, and he was murdered. So it wasn't like he died of cancer or stuff. He was murdered. So, and at that time we thought, that was cool. Not cool, but we kind of learned this before everybody else did. It was like,
how old were you when you made that phone call?
You were, I was like 14, 15.
What was that
and
like?
My brother was there. And of course, he's like 2 years older than me. So he was 17. My cousins and some people we invited to my father's company's picnic. company's picnic. So there was 14, there was 15, my friends, their friends, and we were just all shocked because you got to understand, people, doing a phone call back in those days was something special because it costs money to call outside your area code.
Yeah.
I know it's hard for younger people to realize that. So this is now here comes. So that's that story. Now here comes the Mandela Effect side of the story. So me and my wife were in the car, we're driving, and I have my radio has a Sirius radio built into it. And so I do pay $5 a month for Sirius radio music because I hate commercials. I hate it. And Sirius radio's got like just all reggae channel, all hair metal music channel, all these channels. So I do pay $5. I don't mind paying $5 because I get to listen to my Trunk Nation, Eddie Trunk. I like listening to him. He's my guy in the car. So we're listening to reggae. And Peter Tosh song came on, like, oh, Peter Tosh. I told my wife the story about Peter Tosh. Like, yeah, we found out that he died. We found out before the public died. So she actually looked it up on the phone. I don't know if she didn't believe. I said, now Peter Tosh. Yeah, he died in 1987. But this was the kicker. This is what blew my mind. This is the part of the Mandela Effect of it all. And my son, my brother and I, he talked to his cousins about when did we go to that company party? Because I said, when did we go? It was, everybody confirms it was June, July. That's when we went to the swim party. But, because in September, we're all back in school.
Didn't he die September 11th?
When my wife finally goes, he died on September 11, 9/11. And I know that sounds weird to people, but the shock was, what do you mean he died on 9/11? No. We called in June, July. He died. He died the day before and was verified because he didn't hit the news to 3 days later. When the hell? What do you mean 9/11? It was just we just found this out like a week and a half ago, and I shared it with my cousins, brother. They all were like, okay, this got to be a mistake. It's got to be a mistake.
Sure? Are you sure the picnic wasn't in September?
No, because we were back in school. I know. That's what we're that's the easy thinking. Like, oh, the company party had to be in September, but no, they always done it in June, July. Always done it in June, July. Always. And it was just, and we try to back it up. We're verifying, like we called other people that we know. That's why I didn't bring it up a week ago and all that, because we were trying to.
Just out of curiosity, you sure you weren't at a Labor Day barbecue?
No. This was because during that thing we had to do potato sack running. I mean, we remember that day of that swimming pool because that was the first time that my company's picnic ever done it in that park with that swimming pool. They always done it other places. They have a place called San Juan King River. They do most of the party because their company's in Mendota. Anybody knows California?
Hold on a minute. Hold on. Not that 9/11, Justin.
No. It's
about the World Trade Center. Just the date 9/11 is when the guy died, not the World Trade Center.
Yeah. It has nothing to do with the actual planes. No, people. No. It was just weird. It was just weird. Not just. It was weird that we remember it 2 months earlier. It's just weird that that's the date. It was like on that date. Wow, you know what I mean? So it had nothing to do with the plane. It was just like
wild, man.
All days. That's what intrigued me. No, it didn't happen in September.
I bet you wish you taped that phone conversation.
So the story's cool in so many different ways of actually finding out a big story before it actually came out to the public. So that was cool. The date part, my wife looked up on her phone. That was just one of those things that, like, I'm trying to explain it to myself, like how the, you know what I mean? Even when I told, because this is what I did, Anthony, to verify, I called my cousin up, my cousin Daryl, my brother's staying with him. My cousin Daryl, I go, Daryl, remember that company picnic that we call Peter Tosh. Everybody remembers that phone call because people don't understand it. That phone call, that bill was probably $300 to $400 because it was a lot of money to call. You and I were older. We know, because I think we had to connect it through AT&T because it goes, what month did we call that? Oh, that was June, July. Was it September? No, September. We're all back in school. There will be no company picnic in September. So that's what. Listen, I'm not saying we're all misremembering. There is a possibility that could be, but in our hearts and mind, everybody says June, July.
I'm willing to bet. I'm willing to bet it was a Labor Day barbecue.
But it was just like
Labor Day is in September.
And to this, my brother and I getting these emails from my cousins and my friends, like, my God, they're all like, no way, no, not because it was September 11th of that big event. It was just because of all dates to even be wrong.
Yeah, September 11th
happened to be in on 9/11, and it was just like, the best thing about this is I wouldn't even known this even could be a personal Mandela effect if it wasn't for my wife in that car at that time to research, because Peter Tosh just came on the REGGAE channel. Just came on.
That's
so
wild.
I it's just one of those things. It's just anybody who has like those like memories, like kind of like, I don't know, like, a lot of people know this one, like Dolly wearing braces during Moonraker, where I remember the braces like there was no tomorrow. And if you put on the movie, there's no braces there. And now every time I put on Moonraker, seeing her without braces, just it flips my mind out. Like, it doesn't look right. It doesn't look right. This is the same way as that. Like, it can't be right. It can't be in September. There's no way it could be September.
Crazy.
It is. I have fun. That's how I treat Mandela Effect is fun. But Anthony. But the problem is, one of the main hardest problem about even talking about Mandela Effects. I don't even talk about it no more unless it's kind of personal, or I've at least have 60-70% of a memory of what they're talking about. Beyond that, if I don't have any memory, I don't even bring up Mandela Effects anymore, because it is Anthony, like UFOs, right? People bring out a photo. It's hard to determine what's real, what's wrong, even from a photo. And, you'll have to request the metadata and all that. And of course, we don't even know if you even get the proper data. So pictures, videos of Bigfoot, it's all hard technically to prove any of it is 100% real. Then you talk about a Mandela Effect. That's almost impossible to prove any of that's real, especially misspelled words, because this is what happens. I hate to say this. This is what happens to a lot of channels that want to like fake pictures of UFOs, fake pictures of Bigfoot. What they do is they'll go to 200 websites, about 200 websites, look at a single word. They'll find 2-3 websites that misspelled the word, and they'll use those websites as their main, what they use the word residue evidence of why the Mandela Effect's real. It's all, it's why it's the hardest thing to even ever try to prove, because it's just shit. Like, Anthony, it's hard to prove UFO photos now. I mean, it's especially with, so it's very difficult.
Anything, man. Yeah, metadata, Justin. Metadata is like when you record something and your device stores the date, time, location, all of that stuff. That's the metadata when you film something.
So a lot of times, Justin, when somebody shows a photo of a UFO, the people who know their camera stuff will say, okay, where's the metadata? Let me see it. They want to analyze it, because usually on a metadata, if I'm right, Anthony, if you make a change on the original photo, it'll change something in the metadata. They'll tell you that even an audio enhancement will change that metadata, correct?
Correct. Yes.
And all that. And probably the hardest part too, Anthony, even on the metadata. So for example, if you request somebody to send you the metadata, how do you technically even know that they didn't take a real picture of, I don't know, of their dog and they sent you the data off of the dog and not the UFO? I mean, is there a way to verify something like that?
You know what I would do? I would call Ron because I'm not sure.
But you know what I mean? It's so, and what I'm just getting at, it's hard enough. That's why and the problem is we all know all communities have people who false things, and but I think one of the reasons why, probably my opinion, that the Mandela Effect community probably has the most false frauds in it, because it's harder to prove versus UFOs and Bigfoots, right? Because at least there you can look at the metadata. I mean, anybody can look up 200 websites and you're gonna find what you're looking for, right? A mistakable word, and you're gonna base everything on that. I mean, it is what it is. That's why I always say it's about faith. I mean, like Jesus Christ, right? We know Jesus Christ is real, but you could question, was there really a resurrection? You know, that part goes to faith. You believe
not
that it's real.
necessarily, because we have the Shroud of Turin. That's
but some people even say that's not even Jesus. You know what I mean?
But just for argument's sake, the Shroud of Turin, the cloth that allegedly Jesus was wrapped in, is like a negative, because light had to travel through the body to transfer the image onto the cloth. It was like an X-ray, basically, that cloth.
But with that cloth, but even but the cloth is over the body. And like I'm saying, we know the body is real, but but the cloth can't prove that he resurrected from it, can it?
Yeah, because it's an X-ray. So in other words, the way they tell it is like an enormous amount of light had to travel through that body to post that image of his body on the cloth. It's like an X-ray on the cloth, the full body. You know, the thorns, the blood, the face, the hands folded, the whole body's on there. So it's pretty. I could pull up an image for you. It's pretty wild.
Yeah, and there are also witnesses. Yeah, but unless we're there, anybody can say they're witnesses and stories. I mean, it's, you know, you could write any kind of a true story. And I'm not trying to people. I'm not saying Jesus is not resurrected. What I'm saying is a lot of religion is faith based. You know it's real, where somebody don't. Mandela Effect is the same thing. You know it's real. It's not. Even an alien, unless an alien comes beside you, personally to you, you know, for most of us who hasn't gone through what Anthony's gone through, at the end of the day, that's faith, believing that they are real. I don't have any proof or evidence or even shook hands. Anthony's a little different because he had the memory and sight of being with one of them. But for most of us, we know Anthony's telling the truth, but it's still faith that we believe in him. That's all I'm saying. That's all. So don't get me thinking I'm pooping on Jesus. What I'm just making a point was, it all, at the end of the day, it's all about faith, believing in it.
True.
Yeah. Because right now, everybody's like probably thinking, oh, Eric, like you said, like makes good sense. You're saying it's probably Labor Day, but I can't see my company picnic doing it on Labor Day, but it makes sense. It all has to come down.
I'm just making a suggestion because that would be plausible to fit the time of death, would be around Labor Day. That's, you know.
Yeah. I just loved it in a lot of ways because it brings back memories, and it's just like, wow, this is crazy. There's like no way it was that month. You know what I mean? There's that excitement, like it can't be that month. It was June, July, and not one person in our group says no. It probably was that month. No, everybody. You know what I mean? It's just like it's one of those things. But guys, people in the chat, I'm going to try to get this done today and upload it by tonight. But Yesterday, Anthony and I recorded a good, cool, fun interview with the channel, casual conversation with G and
They're awesome, man. They're awesome, those two.
They're awesome. And the interview is gonna be based around the paranormal side of it. So if you so stick around. It's not uploaded yet. I gotta finish it up because I should have finished it last night, but guys, I had to go see John Wick 4, and god damn it, oh my god, that event, I'm still exhausted watching all that adventure in that movie, all that action. I still can't believe what they did in that movie. But is this a new person here? Hello, Eric Anthony. All
Hi.
you awesome shows. Huh.
Hi, Kira.
Is that the first time here? I don't remember ever. If this is your first time here, well, welcome aboard. I appreciate you being here. We're gonna have some fun here. I'm gonna show. I have a video I'm gonna show. It's called "Top 10 Scariest Things That's Supposed to Be Caught on Camera." This is kind of fun. I thought that we'll look at it and see how it could be false, kind of like what we're talking about here. So this is more for having fun. Ooh, somebody got a picture up here.
That's the Shroud of Turin.
Yeah, I saw that whole documentary on that.
But you see how it's like an X-ray of the image on the sheet?
Yeah, and I just thought that it was based on the oil from the skin. I never thought of it as because the body went through it.
It's the front of the body and the back of the body. It's the entire body, right? And the Vatican says an extreme amount of bright light, almost as bright as a nuclear flash, had to travel through that body to make that X-ray impression on the cloth. That's what's so cool about it.
What is Justin asking here? Oh, no, hold on. Aren't they looking for more than just casual conversation, Eric? I guess that's and they also did a special line for me for the new cartoon that's coming out in a couple of weeks. So that was very cool of them.
Yeah, they're so cool, man.
Let me get this top 10 scariest things caught on CCTV cameras. Let's have some fun here. Before we go to that one, now we saw that fly up. That's probably one of the easiest things to fake because all you really got to do is get a skinny like fish line and like pull it up. And even if the fish line shows up, you could take the camera or on edit it and like edit the picture a little darker or whatever. So minusing out a fishing line is very easy. That's not that hard. That's not that difficult. Not saying that's not real. I'm saying that's an easier one to fake. Now that one with the walking across, if I wanted to fake that, Anthony, would I just put in a shadow, like a picture-in-picture in a way on a camera?
I would probably an overlay over the original video footage. Could be. Like it could be a real CCTV video feed. But that image could either be an actual person walking across that they just made look blurry, or they can add an overlay of a shadow figure crossing the street,
Oh, somebody said
if it's fake.
On that pillow, there was something behind that pillow on the right side.
Really? Go back.
Let's see.
I didn't see nothing.
Let's see.
Oh, she's right. Hit it again. Hit it again. And if you look at the right side of the pillow, you know what it could be? It's the way there's tassels around that pillow. It's the tassels. They hit it again. Let me just double check. Motion. There's little tassels on the pillow that move. That's what it is.
Probably what the wires are connected to.
Probably.
Yeah. And I think that one you would need the original film of that CCTV to see with the metadata to see if anything was
Distorted, yeah.
altered.
Changed. Right.
Yeah. Let's check out
Play
number
with
3.
this thing.
Oh, so what was it, just the flashing? Is that all that was number 3? Because of the flashing?
The lights? That's the big deal now?
Let me see. I guess the lighting.
I didn't see anything, right?
Yeah. The problem with this one is, like, right there, somebody could be underneath this table, and somebody could be underneath that other table, and they just have a small little stick and pushing it out. Let's see. Because that final chair that pushed, what I'm talking about is this final one right here. Okay, like right there, somebody can still have a stick right there. You won't be able to see it. And he does one little push because this video ends without seeing it move with no coverage over any parts of the chair. That was easy. Oh, what happened here? What,
The envelope. See the pink envelope come out of the shelf?
Oh. I'm always expecting that it's gonna fly out or something. But somebody on the other side could be pushing out that,
Yeah.
yeah, so that's not a good one. That was actually, that one's pretty good.
I don't know how that we tricked that one. I don't know.
Because at least right there, the chair is in front of her, and there could be a string. It could be something, but it could be a long string, unless somehow the white chair behind it, somebody's in there and they're able to camouflage you where you can't see the person behind the chair behind the one that moves. Let's see. Let's see. Good. That was pretty good. Now, what's neat, but could not be neat, is now we haven't been in this building. I'm sure there shouldn't be a tilt, but I wonder if any chair gets pushed out right there, would automatically kind of roll down like there is a small little tilt. Because anybody could push the chair out, but it gets interesting because the chair keeps going, where you would think you have to push it pretty good, a pretty strong to get it to go that far.
It could be a guy wearing one of those green skin tight outfits too, and you put the green screen app on, and the guy disappears.
True. Now, if you just got in here about Peter Tosh, just letting you know, in the first half of this whole video, we talked about Peter Tosh. So if you just came in there, just rewind it to the part that we talked about Peter Tosh. We're just having fun and looking at footages that could be real or not, just in case if this person just came here just for Peter Tosh. Now, the problem is, now this over here, hold on, all these computers, That's somebody who could just be playing with a plug-in, like yeah, but on keep hitting flash. So that part, because I'm not saying, I'm not an expert, but they all these come on and go off at the exact same time. Let's see, exact same time. Like somebody got a video on these monitors where they're playing a black screen in the background, and then in that video they created a flash.
We used to do that in high school to piss the teacher off. We can do that. There used to be a program to do that.
Yeah, so that right there is nothing. And of course, the thing you saw on the bottom there, somebody's pushing that from the other side.
What
do you think of that one?
Did you see the shadow in the doorway?
Oh, you saw a shadow in the front or behind it?
So when that door starts to open, it's in the hallway. You'll see a shadow, like a faint shadow. It's there. So you could do it from like right there.
Now, are you talking about a shadow of a person doing that, or maybe a ghost?
You just see like a very, just play it. You'll see. It's like a thin shadow.
Yep, right there. Yep. I saw the shadow. Yeah, let's go back.
Across the hallway, it was like white.
Yeah, it was white. It went real quick, and I think they were going to do it in slow motion too. I went back to see.
Cool. That's pretty cool.
I'm trying to because like you never see like a step. Don't you see a solid light?
Yeah, like a glide. It like glides.
Yeah. So I'm wondering if that's a reflection light from a window or something, because there's no body form of that light. I mean,
But
unless
if it's
you think
a spirit, it doesn't have to have an actual form of a body.
That's true too. So that's a better one. That's a better one. Let's see. And now we're on to number 10.
Dun, dun,
Let's see number 10. That was nothing. That was just
You saw the person standing in front of the bed?
Oh, is there a person standing right in front?
Right in front. They were like covered in a blanket. All that person had to do is kick the bed and the bed falls over.
So I was just thinking all somebody really has to do is just jump up and down, cause like a movement.
You kick the bed a little bit and the thing falls over. Just zoom up a
Let's
little
see.
bit and you see the person standing there.
And you notice what the camera person is doing is moving the camera to match the motion of like the kick, so to make it look more.
Yeah.
So yeah. But they're fun to look at. They're just fun.
I wanted to show you the person that was there.
Oh.
Right there.
Oh, you saw it?
Inch in very slow. Right there. Inch in again. Fast forward a tiny bit. Right there. See the person? That's a
Right
person.
there in the corner?
Yeah, right there. It's a person covered in a blanket or something.
Yep.
Kneeling.
Yep.
They're on their knees.
On the knees, little kid. Yep. There's a person right there. And like you said, when the camera's in front, they kicked it. He kicked it.
Yeah, kick the mattress.
And
Thing falls over.
And all you got to do is have the cameraman also move his camera to look like the motion. But Hey, you got it. That's the problem, right? That's why you never know what could be real out there. What is this one?
Yep.
What is this video? Sometimes I like going to my archives, and sometimes even I forget what are in my archives. Best UFO footage ever, huh? Let's see. I don't remember this one, but these are fun. Since we're here anyway, let's check this out.
Looking for diversified exposure to alternative energy? They've got ETFs for that. Horizons ETFs, ETF solutions for every investor.
It's time for our interesting stories chat with Richard Southern. And Richard, a long lost but famous UFO photo has been found.
This is an interesting one, Eric. I'm going to show it to you, but I want to give you the backstory on this first because it's important. We're going to look at a little dramatization of what happened on August 4th, 1990. This is in Scotland. Two young men who were working as chefs in a nearby hotel near Calvin, Scotland, decided to go for a hike in the hills after a long day in the kitchen. They hadn't gone far when they saw a huge, solid, diamond-shaped object they described as 100-foot long, hovering silently in the sky above them. They hid in the bushes and moments later heard a sound of a jet that circled this object.
Before I even go for this video, do we know anything about this one?
Yes.
Total fake or?
Your guess is as good as mine. Allegedly, that photo there was hanging up in one of the UFO investigators' office, like Nick Pope, like the Ministry of Defense's office for years. It's an alleged real UFO photo. That one's the recreation of it, but allegedly it was real.
Oh, let me see if they talk about being a picture on somebody's wall.
The men took out a camera they had, fired off 6 frames. At that point, the object shot away in an instant. The two men took the negatives to one of Scotland's biggest papers, the Daily Record. The paper, though, didn't print a story or the pictures. They instead passed the pictures on to the Scottish Ministry of Defence. The pics then disappeared. But last week, a reporter for the Daily Mail in London tracked down a retired 83-year-old RAF officer who had kept one of the pictures. This is it, Erica. It is a black and white photo on color paper. What it is, of course, is unknown. The 83-year-old who turned this over to the paper last week actually believes it's a...
They must be using an older camera where there's not a video part where they could film like a video, I'm guessing.
So the original two guys that took this photo were walking through the Scottish Highlands, and they had a black and white camera, and they took that photo of it. And then, like I said, it ended up on the desk of the Ministry of Defense, and the guy had it blown up on his wall like poster size, and that's where that picture comes back from today. But this is an old story from like the 80s that they brought back up now, you know? It's nothing new. But it is believed to be real.
I mean, it's kind of cool in a way that like you said, it's an older story that really had no traction back in those days. So now, maybe because now UFOs are a little bit more on the radar.
Well, what happened was somebody reposted it on TikTok and it went viral. And then they started talking about it again.
Oh, really? So I don't know. I think that's somewhat of a good thing in a way, you know. Maybe now.
I think so, Danny. I think it was taken in like 77. Yeah, you might be right, buddy.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Well, let me get this off. And then what the hell these tabs? Oh, I don't know why I was thinking I was going to show this later. I was people want to know Kerman, there's my town, a farm town surrounded by farmlands and grapes. Tons of grapes. Grapes. Believe it or not, people, in those grapes, I lived in what they call it crank capital of the world, where in the middle of all these grapes, they actually made drugs out in the middle because a lot of people don't go out in the middle of the grapes. Fresno was considered like the crank capital of the world. If you know what crank is a cheap version of cocaine. they make it out of battery acid and all that kind of stuff. We used to see as kids FBI agents all the time go out in the middle of these grapes. And at first we thought, are they here for illegals? Because growing up, we always saw green border patrol vans popping up chasing people. It was, I mean, it was weird. It was like normal. It was like, oh, here's a green van pulling up. Here's 3-4 border cops chasing, looking for people. I mean, it was that normal. It was like, wow. I mean, it was another world living down there in Fresno and Kerman with the middle of all these grapes. Yeah. My town. Oh, well. I'm going to pull up Anthony's channel, see what's coming up on his channel, and then, we'll let everybody get out of here to enjoy their weekend. But let me pull up Anthony's channel. Give me a second.
Want me to play the drums? Want me to do a drum solo for us tonight?
Oh, guys, if you didn't know this, I just learned that Anthony's dad is not just a drummer. He's built some drums for famous organizations. Like, wow, that's.
Oh, you want me to show them? I'll pull it up for you. I'll get it. I'll get one. Kobe Bryant, when he passed away, did one for the Lakers. Then he did one for GTO cars.
Isn't that cool, people?
Got the New York Giants. Full on, there's a lot of it. Did the Giants. Makes a whole bunch of them.
Look at this. Our friend Nicole through the veil says, Eric, you see I may have caught a devil monkey? Really? You got to put that link to that video that you might caught a monkey, and put a timestamp. If you don't mind me showing it, I would love to take a look at that. That'd be awesome. So this is, I'm going to get rid of, so I don't have too many squares here. So this Sunday.
Ghostbusters one.
So this Sunday is the Ghostbusters one. Look at that.
I'm going to actually interview my parents tonight and have them discuss. My dad had a couple ghost encounters. I'll film them tonight and have them start talking about it.
Oh, it's on her shorts. Okay. Well, let's through it says it's on her shorts. She caught a devil monkey. Okay, shorts. Oh man, hold on.
Who caught a devil monkey?
Nicole, through the veil. My medium friend.
Look at that. Wow, play that again, man. Oh, in green too? In night vision? What the hell
shorts.
is that,
Shorts
man?
just keep going. And I'll replay it again too. Gotta see that again. There we go. Wow.
That's cool.
And guys, just in case you don't know, through the veil, Nicole is a very real paranormal researcher. She's a medium. She's actually done some police investigations. She's been asked to do a few police investigations. Now, for a police to ask help from a medium, I would think they would have to have more of a trust level, because if you're going to bring a medium in, I'm not sure, but Anthony, would a police force get mocked if they bring in like a medium? Like, have you ever
I've never worked, no, but I've heard of small town police departments bringing them in. I don't think big cities or states do. Not that I've ever heard. Maybe on private time, like a detective or someone will say, hey, reach out. But I don't think like on an official level. But then again, I could be wrong. Things change. I'm out a long time now,
And then tonight, let me show people. Hold on, cause let me get this. Let me share the screen. You guys all know the very famous Ron, the weekend warm up. Look at that. Looks like he's already opposing for John Wick 5. I think he wants to. Nobody's seeing it. I think he wants to be in the next John Wick movie. He might give John Wick a run for his money, huh? Look at that. Look at that. Look at that snatch. Oh, he looks pissed.
Ron.
Because I try to remember, does Jim Goodell, does he do a lot of Friday shows?
No, just Wednesday.
Oh, just Wednesdays? Yeah. Unfortunately, I gotta get this computer worked on during that time. Sucks. Not seeing.
I don't think I'll be there tonight either. I'm in New Jersey right now, so tonight I'm taking my son out. I'm gonna try to make it. I'm gonna try to make it.
New Jersey. But beyond that, people, I hope you guys enjoyed today. I hope to see. Hopefully, a lot of you can jump over to Ron's channel tonight. Say hi, have fun, and then Sunday the Ghostbusters. I mean, I'm intrigued to see this interview thing he's doing with his parents about the paranormal. There's nothing better than having family members to be part of something, like
my dad had a few ghost encounters that were really cool. I'll film him tonight.
Oh man. And I'm just curious, like for myself, what I'm curious is what's the link with them in the paranormal? What is it? Is it because they see a ghost sighting, they saw something, or did he see a ghost touching Anthony at night? I mean, I want to.
Well, my mom actually had a near-death experience. Remember the time I told you when I was working in the police department, my mom fell down the stairs. She had the seizure. Well, she actually died. Her heart stopped. And she swears that she heard voices talking to her, telling her to follow the light and all that stuff. But I'll let her tell the story, and then my dad will tell his ghost story.
Isn't that teasing people? And everybody who's left in the chat, please hit the thumbs up and leave me a comment. Nobody's leaving comments anymore. Leave a comment. Even if you hate me, think I'm ugly, say, hey, you're ugly, but you're all right. I don't care. Just leave a comment. Yes. Put a thumbs up. Why not? It helps. It helps out. Sometimes I get like 5 comments, and I know I never ask people to say comments, but leave a comment today. God damn it. Show some class. Show some goddamn class. Thumbs up. Come on. Come on. We work hard for you guys. I give you guys a personal Mandela Effect story where I know I'm going to get criticized. Listen, it's one thing to say you saw a UFO or Bigfoot. Anytime you talk about a memory change, oh my God, the look you get on people's faces. Oh God, it's so scary that I can't even talk no more.